Welcome back to the NetSuite Podcast, SuiteWorld Edition. I'm Chris Bloom. I'm here hosting with Tori Youngblood and Fritz Nelson, and we're back after Evan's keynote to have some hot takes on what that was all about. Fritz, what was the first thing that struck you from that keynote today?
I'm going to tell you, but before we do, a word from our sponsor.
Very important.
Okay, Saligo helps companies go beyond integration with intelligent automation, not just that ordinary everyday automation, but intelligent automation. That's what you want across all of your applications. Learn proven strategies to streamline order to cash, fulfillment, EDI, and more. Walk away with a clear roadmap to drive greater efficiency, resilience, and ROI from your NetSuite investment. Get to know Saligo and try today.
Wow. Thank you, Fritz. I don't know how we follow that up, but let's try.
Yes.
Evan's keynote, Fritz.
Evan's keynote. First of all, if anybody caught before Evan's keynote, we talked about the opening experience and all the great dancers. I didn't see you up there though, Tori.
No, but I did see you dancing right here on this couch.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
It's
my side hustle.
It was the spectacle that I was looking forward to, right? Like the lights, the movement, the dance. It was exactly what I was hoping for an opening to SuiteWorld.
And every year, it's so much different than the last. And so there's this anticipation that's always brewing of what are the dancers going to do this year, and they never disappoint. So we could talk about the dancers, but really what we're here to talk about is the meat of the keynote. There were some big announcements. The biggest announcement in our 27-year history, NetSuite Next. At the heart of it all, Ask Oracle. So Chris, what were some of the highlights, the main takeaways that you're excited about?
I'm not the only one that's excited about this. As I was saying, my phone has been blowing up with head exploding emojis. Like, this is exciting for people that are part of this world. The capabilities that we got to see as a result of NetSuite Next, watching Ask Oracle improve based on your own real-time guidance, the metrics and visibility into your business. It felt like the data was coming alive in the account to tell you what you'd always wanted to know about how your business was doing and what you needed to do to respond in real time to improve it with this partnership through Ask Oracle as your interface that's completely different from what everyone's used to.
Yeah, I think the other part that really struck me, and Evan kind of started talking about this at the beginning, was, we think about and we see AI as something that gets added in, a capability, a neat little feature. But what he talked about with NetSuite Next is how it is pervasive, how it is built into every experience that you can have. And he showed it in all parts of NetSuite, coming alive, showing you insights, allowing you to interact with your data, with your NetSuite system in natural language, ask what you want of it. It adapts to you. He said that as well. That's a completely different way of thinking about how AI can be part of your business system.
Yeah, and Evan also talked about how NetSuite is inherently built for AI capabilities such as this because of our start in the cloud that gave us control of our data, and now we're taking it up so many notches, and now people are really getting control of their insights, and they're being able to integrate this technology into their everyday lives to ultimately grow their businesses and push things forward. So, Chris, when we're talking about that progression that we talked about a little bit earlier, what is it like now to see this come to life?
Well, I was certainly there for the one system, no limits era. And we've certainly been talking about hairballs for a long time. And the idea that the three pillars that have underpinned everything about the vision of NetSuite from the very beginning as being the elements that actually unlock the power of AI so that your relationship to your data and to your business is completely different now. It's a unique experience to NetSuite. And when we were looking at that workflow demo where you get to see the AI assistant from Ask Oracle walk you through creating new workflows where you get to upload your policies and standards and run books, and it knows all the context for what to do. Only the vision that leads to those underpinning principles lets the Ask Oracle capability unlock those new relationships. Fritz, did you see anything in the relationships or the capabilities that really spoke to you like this?
Well, one of the more interesting demos came out of an announcement last week from OpenAI with ChatGPT, the ability to actually make purchases within ChatGPT. And this was announced last week, and Evan said this on stage, and he said, we have already been working on making that work in NetSuite. What better place than with the Suite Commerce product to make this come alive? So he showed a demo where you could actually make a purchase right there in NetSuite through this ChatGPT interface. And then once that purchase gets made, that order becomes an entry in NetSuite automatically, right? And all with the power of AI. And, from last week to now and getting into the product soon, it's just the speed of AI is incredible.
Right. And so that agentic commerce protocol gives us a completely new capability and opens entirely new avenues for us. Tori, were there anything else like that for you that felt like a completely new space?
Yeah, well, going off the agentic workflows that are in NetSuite Next as well, that was another really exciting highlight that Evan talked about, because essentially customers can interact with Ask Oracle, and they can obviously be asking questions about their data, about their business in plain language, but they can also set up agentic workflows. So they're essentially doing work for you behind the scenes, but a very important note is that you're always in control. There's always a human in the loop, so you always know what's going on, but you're still able to extract the value from what these agents are doing. And that, to me, is a very exciting evolution in this AI technology in the suite. And you talked about the 3 pillars, but in case anyone out there missed the keynote, and just in a minute we'll tell you how you can still catch it, those 3 pillars in terms of why NetSuite is built for AI is they're the suite, so a unified suite where all your data is centralized. We have industry excellence, so again, the suite it's able to be customized to your industry. And in Ask Oracle, we saw it has context awareness. So if you're a CFO, it's going to give you financial insights. If you're a warehouse manager, inventory insights. It's always adapting to what you need. And then the platform, of course, which again, adapting to what our customers need. Chris, talking about some of the other AI insights, because we obviously NetSuite Next, it's very exciting, but there was more. We have subscription metrics, which is AI powered and available now. We have the NetSuite Intelligent Payment Automation announcement in partnership with Bill. What were some of the other announcements that excite you?
The pricing capability. I think the dynamic pricing that we get from the new model really struck me. We have such a strong relationship with our customers, and we needed a new ability to make sure that we had a pricing capability that was dynamic for what they wanted to achieve. And the idea that we can just enable a cost plus or VIP pricing model and then set time horizons where it automatically comes on and automatically goes away, and that it's modeled based on the best practices. And then the sort of cadence of a week later or 2 weeks later, you can have these agentic flows paying attention to this over here or that over there and giving you feedback where you get to make dynamic decisions based on that. How would that feel to you, Fritz, if you were running your business and you had these agents telling you information in real time to model things and improve them for you?
I would feel as if I had a little angel on my shoulder whispering advice to me and allowing me to not even have to think about what I need to go look at and know about and what's coming and what's going. And, that agility that Evan talked about in the beginning, I feel extra agile as a result of that. And now I can think about more strategic things than the day to day. I think that's the exciting part. So a lot more in that keynote. We don't want to go back through all of it, but we can. People can go watch it. A lot of exciting things.
Yeah, and you all, both of you, will be sitting down with Evan himself in just a short bit to dive deeper into that keynote. And if you missed it, make sure you register for our virtual on-air program at netsuite.com/on-air. You get access to all of the keynotes, on-demand content, breakout sessions, virtual networking. The list goes on. Go register right now. And also happening now, I get to sit down and talk with the co-founder and CEO of BERO, who was also on stage, John Herman. He talked to Evan on stage, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the BERO brewing story as well. But first, I think we have a word from our sponsors, Fritz.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about Saligo again.
You can't get enough.
While John grabs a beer and gets settled with us. Just to remind you, Saligo helps companies go beyond integration with intelligent automation across all your applications, all of them, not just one, all of them. Learn proven strategies to streamline order to cash. Chris, I know that is a big thing for you. Fulfillment, EDI, and more. Walk away with a clear roadmap to drive greater efficiency, resilience. I know resilience, big theme for you, Tori, and ROI. John, I know, very important for you. From your NetSuite investment, get to know Saligo and try today. Go.
Thank you, Fritz, and thank you, Saligo, and thank you, John Herman, for being on the NetSuite Podcast SuiteWorld edition here at SuiteWorld 2025.
Thank you for having me. Thrilled to be here.
How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling great. Just had the pleasure of being on stage with 8,000 people on just an amazing setup. So yeah, I'm on cloud 9.
No pressure. And I think to make this situation a little bit better, we can crack open some of these
Excellent.
BEROs. So let's see. Let's get some ASMR.
Did we build NetSuite on cloud 9?
All right. Cheers, John.
Cheers. Salud.
Guys are having a good time.
So it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah,
We're in
right.
Vegas anyway, and it's non-alcoholic beer. So.
Actually, so, good all around. So, John, can you tell us a little bit about what we're drinking here?
Yeah, so we set out really 2 years ago. I met Tom Holland, my co-founder, and he was on a 1.5-year sobriety journey. He saw white space in the market. He wanted to make great premium beer that ultimately could create a lifestyle of aspiration, while at the same point, making you feel inclusive if you decided not to drink. So we set out to do that. And it's not about just promoting a life of sobriety. 90% of our consumers drink, but maybe you're taking a night off, maybe you're mixing in a non-alc with the full strength, or maybe you're taking a month off like a dry January, but we wanted to create a brand that could really make it just aspirational and cool to be part of a non-alcoholic beer world.
Yeah, as someone who also does not drink, I think I know firsthand how cool it is just to be able to have something in your hand and to feel like you're a part of
Absolutely.
A part of the environment you're in.
It's better than another club soda, right?
Exactly. Though I do love a club soda sometimes, but it tastes like a beer. It's not just good for non-alcoholic beer, it's good for a beer.
So one of the things that we hear a lot is that, it tastes just like beer. And
Yeah.
like on one hand, I'm like, that's a compliment. I'm happy. On the
Yeah.
other hand, I'm like, it is beer. It's the same 4 ingredients: water, hops, yeast, and malt. And really all of that credit goes to not Tom or I, because we know how to drink beer. We don't know how to make it. We hired an amazing brewmaster. His name is Grant Wood. He came with 40 years of experience. And honestly, he was retired after selling a brewery he started in North Texas, and I pulled him out of retirement. And little did I know at the moment that I was hiring a legend that made really great beer.
And so Tom Holland approaches you to start this company. What tipped you off that this could be a really great opportunity?
I think for me, who I do still enjoy wine and I will still drink, I think I started seeing this opportunity beyond like the Gen Z that gave up alcohol. There was a wide opportunity of whether you're 40-something, 30-something. At the time, I had a 4-year-old that did not understand what a Saturday hangover was. And she was coming in to wake me up regardless. And the more that I spoke about what we were working on with, whether it be friends or just people in passing, it was a passion point for so many people. And again, it wasn't necessarily an all or nothing discussion. It was about balance in your life and not wanting to, in a world of excess, how do you really take away the things that aren't adding as much value? And then the light bulb just went off, and it was like, we can really build something here. And the goal for us is to expand the category. And that's what we're really focused on right now.
Exciting. So we have more options on the horizon. That's great. Great
More
to hear.
options on the horizon. I think we can officially say we broke the internet yesterday. We launched a new coffee porter, which is a collaboration between Tom and his good friend and fellow Marvel superstar, Robert Downey Jr. So we launched that yesterday. It's available at Target and on our website, but over 23 million views and just really getting great cultural response.
That's incredible. And so, talking about you a little bit, you've worked in the food and beverage industry for most of your career, which is a very competitive industry. So, what about your past experience do you think really set you up for building BERO now?
I honestly think my career in CPG and food and beverage was set up by, before that, the first half of my career was apparel and merchandising. And I remember sitting on the floor of our New York design office, pulling out color chiclets and assorting. It really taught you about trend and having a good intuition for who your customer was and who the opportunity was for. That fed into high trending beverage categories. So most recently, I was president at a company called Nutribullet. We made a product called C4, where really energy drinks holistically were being redefined for the next generation. And again, it was flavor profile trends, functional ingredient trends, packaging trends. And we learned the hard way that beverage is very hard. And beverage doesn't make sense in the numbers until it makes sense, which probably happens at least 4 to 5 years in. So we scaled that to the number 4 drink in the country, and I decided, while it was amazing what we had accomplished, I wasn't having as much fun at that stage as I was when we were building it. So I stepped away. I knew I wanted to do beverage again. I knew I wanted to be in trending categories that just seemed to drive relevance to the next generation. And Tom had a great vision for the brand, and we just hit it off and started building.
Well, it sounds like Tom knew you were the guy to do this based on this history. It was very, very impressive.
It was one of those things. The moment we got on the phone, or the Zoom, it was just, we hit it off. And it wasn't a matter of, you're a celebrity and I'm it was just two human beings having a really good initial interaction. And you could tell that you could build on that from a foundation of trust, because I told him on day one, I think I know what I'm doing, but there are going to be tough days, and you're going to have to trust that we can build this together. And I trusted his opinion of what the brand could become. And I think all of that was really just authentic in the relationship. And I think it comes through in the brand so far.
Great story of just two guys bonding over beer. That's great. So let's get into NetSuite a little bit. And you talked about this on stage with Evan. You guys actually implemented NetSuite on day one. And you talked about the importance of having that foundation of growth while you were getting started and while you were scaling the company. You do have global aspirations. I mean, you're global now, but we want to go even more global. So can you talk about implementing NetSuite and why you ultimately chose our software?
Yeah, so a little bit of what I said on stage was I knew we had the ability to drive a lot of demand from a marketing standpoint. Tom was all in and 66 million followers. I knew we could drive press. I felt really confident in our ability to build a unique and differentiated brand and product that tasted great. Where you can go wrong is if you can't operate. And we were hiring amazing people. To go off the Marvel pun, we were assembling our Avengers. And I wanted to make sure they were enabled to be successful. And, ambition and moving with pace, I didn't want to be limited by the lack of systems and processes that we had. What that ended up being translated in, beyond just being words, was my head of ops said, hey, I really think we should think about an ERP on day one. And I had great experience with NetSuite, with a partner called Luxent implementing it. And, I trusted her and they helped us along for the journey. And it's been a game changer for us. And I've actually found that there's been turning points of investing in data. It was a question for me of, should I be doing this as a startup? And I think more often than not, I get to the answer of, how could I not do this? And now we have a team that's armed with great data where you're not spending time in a room asking, is that accurate, is that not? You can just go have strategic discussions, and now you can put your smart people into making great decisions that can hopefully carry you to the future.
Great, John. Well, thank you so much for sharing more about BERO. And now we thought we would put you to the test with a little taste test to see just how well you know your products. Do you think you can do that?
I think if I can't, I will have to resign at the end of this podcast.
Well, we won't tell Tom if you fail, but
Perfect.
we do have a blindfold, and Chris here is going to help you with that.
I just keep my blindfold handy at all times.
You just pull it out.
Little fun fact about Chris.
Yeah, Chris doesn't go anywhere with that. And I will pour these. So, for everyone at home,
I'm gonna
the
wave my
flavors
hand
we
in front of
have.
your eyes here.
We
Can
have-
you see my hand?
I absolutely cannot.
Okay, great. That's as tight as it's gonna go, I think, for you for safety.
Perfect.
Perfect. So we have the double tasty West Coast style IPA, which is what I've been sipping on, and it is delicious.
Typical West Coast style IPA, hoppy and Motueka hops, so you get that great like bitterness.
Next up, we have the Kingston Golden Pills.
Not an American lager. We went European style, classic continental pill, Saaz hops, a little bit of that like metallic bite at the end. Really great body and beautiful color.
You're gonna get a big taste of foam at the beginning, the way she's pouring, though.
That's a giveaway on the pills. It's a little aggressive. I need to talk to Grant, our brewmaster, about that one.
You're right. I need to fix my technique. All right, and now we have an Edge Hill Hazy IPA.
That's juicy New England style IPA. And one thing I didn't hit on was all of the names mean something. So Edge Hill, it's the school where Tom started to study the arts and ballet. That color of the maroon was the color of the lapel of his jacket. The Pilsner, Kingston, it's where he's from, Kingston upon Thames. You'll see a fish, a trout on all of our cans. That's from the crest of his hometown. So we put these Easter eggs in that really just show that he was thoroughly involved throughout the building of this brand.
Wow, knowing all that, you really can't look at these cans the same. And so let's get started. John, we have
I'm gonna hand this to you, John.
the
All
first
right.
one up. Chris, you are so helpful. All right, really take it in.
That would be our Edge Hill Hazy IPA. I hope.
That is incorrect.
Oh no. Double tasty.
Yep, you were right about the IPA.
I knew it was
part.
an IPA. Well, as I said, it's a shame for me to resign after such a great day.
We'll give you another chance.
Okay, this one. All right, that's a little easier. That's our Pilsner. We got overly confident.
That's
All right,
correct. That
and then
was
we-
the Pilsner.
And then we have the last one here.
Through the process of elimination.
This one's a little fuller. I'm not sure why they poured it so tall over there. Here you go, John. Don't
Okay.
drop it.
Thank you. That's the Edge Hill. It is very hard to tell the difference with the blindfold on.
Actually, we tricked you on that last one. We mixed them all,
Chris-
but I think you kind of got it right because at the top was the Edge Hill.
Yeah, we didn't mix it up, so that was right.
It had a lot of Edge Hill in there.
A lot of Edge Hill.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John. We really appreciate
Thank you.
coming on the NetSuite Podcast at SuiteWorld 2025. And for all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember that you can catch all the action of SuiteWorld on air at netsuitesuiteworld.com. Don't go anywhere. Chris and Fritz will be sitting down with the one and only Evan Goldberg to dive deeper into his keynote. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
That was fun.
That was super fun. Thanks. Sweet.